Kalala Yahaba Shima Masha Yawasha Shima Yasharala Yahaba Alahayana the Bomashpaka Asha Shabbat. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Yeah, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you, family. That reads exactly what it reads. Now, I'm going to let this video play. We're going to observe the foolishness of this. I'm going to provide my commentary. And then we're going to cut this mess up with the scriptures. Without further ado, let us begin.
My biggest dating red flag. Is it being on the DL? You're on the right track. I have my answer. Is it close enough? You want to guess one more time what would be a red flag for me? Bad music taste? Oh, that is a good one. Because that's one for me. That is a good one. But that's not what I mean. You don't listen to Michael Jackson. But okay. This is a huge red flag for me. All right. You know what's so crazy? I was going to say men. I was going to say men. I mean, strike one. You're a man. Yeah. And you're heterosexual. Yeah. I was going to say, so technically, because my mind was already there, I don't think I deserve to be the wing. I think you do, friend. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, always go with your gut instinct. I think you need more sauce. What do you call?
Yeah. A bunch of confusion. Now, we already know that this is an agenda being pushed by the heathens that got their asses on puppet strings, right? We already know this rapper, Doechii. Yeah, Synagogue of Satan got her ass. So it's all an agenda about going about it, right? And they're pushing that agenda, and they're the pawns to push that agenda. And they always use the diaspora to make stuff a trend, right? So, yeah, you heard it from this wicked-ass woman's mouth and the other wicked-ass woman co-signing her. Yeah. The straight man is a red flag now. Now, that goes to show you all, right? That goes to show you all that, you know, the information that I had provided in previous King Talks about how the whore deals with sodomites, that's red-handed evidence that you just saw. That is red-handed evidence that you just saw there. Many of us probably already knew that the whorish woman deals with sodomites. The sodomite spirit and the whore spirit is the same spirit. I exposed that in a previous video as well. Now you're seeing it. You're seeing it play out. You see that actual spirit play itself out. Yeah. And all her fans that follow her, some more dumbass hoes that follow her and idolize her, are now going to pick up on that vain philosophy of hers. That a heterosexual man is a red flag. Why would she see a heterosexual man as a red flag? Well, first and foremost, like I said, it's an agenda. It's an agenda to further cause more confusion and disruption within the diaspora. You know, it fuels the gender war that a lot of 2/3 just fall into playing. And it also is an attack on reproduction of the nation, of the diaspora. Yeah, it's an attack. It's a coordinated attack to weaken the diaspora. And it all relates to Psalms 83. Read that on your own time. However, we already know a woman like this is a promiscuous woman. She's a disorderly woman, a very vile, wicked, and sexual deviant woman. To say something like that, or to hold that type of belief, or to even support that belief of one expressing such a philosophy, it's disgusting and it's destructive. Now, as I told you brothers in a previous King Talk, any adulterous, promiscuous woman like that you encounter, she's trying to get you killed. All right? She's trying to get you lined up by the Most High, because she's being lined up by the Most High. Anybody with that type of mentality is definitely being lined up by the Most High. Destruction is coming. There's no way around it. You cannot get off scotch-free being wicked like that. That judgment, that recompense is going to come to you one way or the other. But yeah, you heard it from her mouth, and you've seen clear, solid evidence of how the whore deals with sodomites. The modern woman deals with sodomites. All right, if you find that hard to believe, now you have solid evidence. I've been telling you brothers that. A lot of you brothers already know. Many of you brothers who are experienced and really have some heightened knowledge on our female counterparts, you already knew that. But for those who may not be as experienced with the world and a little bit younger, this is your solid evidence. So it goes to show you that these men in the world stressing themselves about the modern woman are stressing themselves out and ruining themselves in vain, chasing after these hoes, worrying about these hoes. You're worrying about a woman who enjoys messing with men who deals with men. Wrap that around your head. All these men who are caught up in the world, who are not in the truth, right? Prioritizing these hoes. They're prioritizing women who deal with men. They're prioritizing women who deal with men that deal with men. These are some sorry ass individuals. But yet, all that gets overlooked because boys don't know how to control their loins. They don't know how to keep this stuff in check. Listen here. Listen. The reason why things are so bad now is because we've strayed away from our natural traditions, that natural dynamic of roles between man and woman. And you know, the nations, the other nations, they know this. The other nations that got these celebrities on puppet strings, they know this. That's why they made a big deal for this female celebrity to say this on such a popularized show, such as that wing show, whatever it is, the wing challenge. I don't watch TV like that, so I don't know the damn name of it, but I'm familiar with that show where they bring celebrities on to try these hot wings and stuff. So they put her on there purposely. It was coordinated. Those questions that her and the other woman were engaging in were all scripted questions. None of that was just by happenstance. That was all coordinated and planned by some wicked ass individuals. And those two women just happened to be the puppets of such a coordination. Well, I'm done talking. We're going to get to the scriptures here. I'm done talking. We're going to go to the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So with them making that segment of this show a thing for her to say, they know that weak-ass men and weak-ass women are going to take what she said in consideration because she's a celebrity, she's attractive, and weak-ass men who have problems with lasciviousness and all other type of freakism are going to get further into such lasciviousness and freakism to where they're going to deal with a woman that want to deal with men that deal with men. They're going to get into that shit. And vice versa. Women who are smiting with the whore spirit are just going to become more dirty assholes. That's it. It's just going to create more destruction, more confusion, and more bloodshed. Because ain't no way people are going to follow into this type of philosophy and make it out alive. They will be seen by the Most High. Sirach 25, verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. So anybody who's of any righteousness, if you have any righteous bone in your body, you will completely reject that BS that woman just said. And you won't take anything else she has to say into any type of high consideration. You will know that this is a woman you do not want to take any type of advice from. That's called giving the water no passage, neither a woman liberty to gad abroad. You will not let her go any further with her influence in your life. If you were once jamming her music for whatever reason, and you hear that, you will stop jamming her music and stop taking her stardom in consideration. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Straight, clear, and simple. It is an abomination. It is disgusting. The Most High said such an act is an abomination. And to get a better understanding of what an abomination is, just think of a feces sandwich. That is an abomination. So that act alone is compared to a feces sandwich. 2 pieces of bread with feces in it. That's an abomination. Now, I want to go back further into our Thorara and focus on something that happened during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. We're going to go to the book of Genesis. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, starting at verse 1. This is Genesis, chapter 19, starting from the top, verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. So we know about the angels that came to Sodom and Gomorrah to visit Lot, right? So these are the angels, disguised as men, regular men, coming to see Lot. Verse 2, and he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. Verse 3, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. So basically, Lot really made it a big deal to show them hospitality, right? He made it a big deal for them to come by his house so he can show them some hospitality and I guess express his gratitude for having, angels of the Lord come visit him. Lot was wise for that. Lot was wise. I mean, come on, think about it. If you actually knew, you had the awareness of Yahweh to know that two angels came to your city and you're seeing the angels, a lot of us would have done the same thing. I know I would have. Like, what y'all doing here? Oh, you visiting Houston? Oh, man, where y'all going? Hey, man, y'all need to come by my house and kick it. Man, I got everything. Y'all want to eat? I got everything. Just come through. Just come by my place. Y'all can crash at my place. I'll look out for you. I'll make everything hospital. These are angels of the Lord here. So knowing that they're angels of the Lord, with you being a servant of Yahweh, yeah, it would have been wise to do the same thing as Lot did. Verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. So this is how wicked and vile and disgusting the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah were. And that's why Yahweh destroyed that place. And guess what? Babylon is already considered Sodom and Egypt. And we're seeing some of that Sodom mentality from this video we just watched. Continuing forward with the reading. Verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. So this rapper chick, Doechii, however you say her damn name, this is the type of men she wants to deal with. Deviants. Disgusting deviants that will do something like these men of Sodom and Gomorrah did when they saw the two angels. Verse 6, and Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. So this is Lot basically warning these Sodomites of the wickedness that they wanted to do and the woe that was within the vicinity. Remember, Lot knows he has two angels of the Lord that he's housing right now. These are two individuals from the Shamayam. Yes, these are angels from the third heaven disguised as men. Lot knew what he was doing. Furthermore, we're going to see how more he warns, how further he goes to warn these individuals of the wickedness that they had at hand. He said in verse 8, "Behold now, I have two daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you. And do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof." So the unlearned individuals, like let's say some dumbass hoe like Doechii, read this particular scripture, their carnal understanding will condemn Lot for such a proposition being made. But when you look at this from a spiritual lens, right, from the understanding of Yahweh, this was a warning. This was a second level warning that Lot was given to these men. It was figurative language that he was speaking in, basically telling them, hey, you better off trying to deal with a woman than trying to take these men, because you know not that these men are angels of Yahweh. So therefore, Yahweh saying firsthand by his delegates that you all are about to be wicked and you may be cut off for having such a desire. So you're better off trying to get into this house after my daughters who are women, and even more so, they haven't even laid with a man yet. You'll probably have more mercy in the sight of Yahweh if you were to go after them than after these men. It was figurative language that he was telling these men, letting them know, hey, you're in danger with such an attitude and mindset. You're in danger. That's what that was. But like I said, the fool will read that and take it literally and feel some type of way and think that Lot was pimping out his daughters. No, that wasn't the case. So let's get that understood. Verse 9. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut to the door. And they smote the men. So the men are the angels of the Lord that are visiting with Lot. It's not the inhabitants of Sodom. So the angels pulled Lot into the house and shut the door. And then the angels, in verse 11, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they were wearied themselves to find the door. So instead of completely knocking these wicked individuals of Sodom and Gomorrah off, the angels of Yahweh blinded them. And this is the same thing we saw the angels do for Elisha when the chariots came from the mountains and smite the army that was after Elisha and his servant. They smite the army that was after him with blindness as well. So we're seeing some war tactics, some non-lethal war tactics that the angels can produce. Continuing forward with the reading. Verse 12, and the man said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahweh, and Yahweh has sent us to destroy it. Verse 14, and Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Salah, up, get you out of this place, for Yahweh will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. So they didn't believe him. They didn't believe him. And they faced that wrath. It was only Lot, his wife, and his two daughters that stayed at the house with him that weren't married yet, that got out of Sodom and Gomorrah. But, his wife still had her heart set on Sodom and Gomorrah. That's when she turned to a pillar of salt because she looked back. That's further into the story, though. But I share that passage with you all to see that this is the same mentality that got Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. And these are the same angels today witnessing Babylon move in the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. These are the same prophets that are speaking out against this BS too. Nothing new is under the sun. Nothing new is under the sun. The fact that I'm making this video rebuking this, our forefathers, our righteous forefathers did the same thing in antiquity. As it was further stated by the angels of the cry, waxing great before the face of Yahweh. This video alone is a cry to Yahweh for destruction to be placed upon the wicked. Going back to the book of Leviticus. This is Leviticus 20 and 10. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So this attitude that Miss Doechii, or however you say her damn name, this philosophy she expressed marks her as an adulteress. Yeah. Because, anybody who has such a desire like that, she's dealing with both men and women. And she considers a man that's gay because she wants multiple rods up in her at the same time. And only a gay man would do that. She's a sexual deviant. But a lot of you dumbass 2/3 and you dumbass heathens of the world, y'all give stuff like this a pass. Because of the marketability of sexiness. or attractiveness that you may find in such an individual speaking such profaneness. We're going to jump to 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verses 20 through 22. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 20 through 22. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. So this is a device of the world that is creating peril. What we just seen from this woman expressing her own vain opinion and philosophy is a device that's creating peril in this world. Verse 21, and I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Verse 22, let the multitude perish then, which were born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So many of these individuals who practice such profaneness and just giving over to such wickedness and reprobate, yeah, they were born in vain. They were born to be a vessel of dishonor, so that such destruction can take place, which all leads to New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, the kingdom of Yahweh. Hashamayam. Hashamayam. Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 8 through 9. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 8 through 9. Woe be unto thee, Assur, thou that hidest the unrighteous in thee. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 9, whose land lieth in clouds of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith the Almighty Yahweh. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.